I already talked about the Santos Bonacci incident and what he's been going through, and he is a bit of a celebrity. He's got a lot of popularity here on YouTube, and he's very knowledgeable. I can say that. I really appreciate it. I don't agree with every angle that he's taking, and I certainly disagree with him on some of his history of Jesus positions that he's taking. He actually aligns himself with some of the teachings, or all of the teachings, of this writer from last century, Thomas Burgoyne. And so you'll have to look into that, but there's where, I appreciate the video is not about that. This is to describe Druana Johnston's take on Santos Bonacci. Druana Johnson is a channel that I've been watching for the past couple years, but she's gone through this evolution that I've noticed, and the most recent phase is her talking about getting off of YouTube altogether, and how YouTube Corporation is such a scam. Yeah, Druana, welcome to the club. You're a bit of a newcomer at this if you didn't see this since 2006. What is it now? 2014? Yeah. Okay, so you want to get your videos off of here, and now I see them reloaded onto new channels. She has a spin-off on Vimeo, but there's only 2 videos there as of this date, March 13th, 2014, and she had a main channel. It was doing well. She was getting a lot of subscribers. I was one of the subscribers. I don't think she's ever written back to me, possibly once, I can't remember. And I haven't been back to that channel, so I just see her material on spin-off channels, and she doesn't show herself anymore. So I'm not sure what she's going through. It might be a little bit of paranoia, and you have to get over those things. I've been on that roller coaster for a long time, and I'm still here. But Druana Johnson has kind of a negative spin on the Santos Bonacci, not only the incident, but also on his entire body of teachings. There's something that she really doesn't like. And I noticed in her videos she's talking about communications that she's having with Santos Bonacci supporters and fans. And so, this is a big YouTube drama war going on around this. She basically thinks that Santos Bonacci might be a bit of a scam artist, and she's saying that he corrupts the use of words. She emphasized the fact that he claims to be a language expert, but yet he does not use words properly, and he's always twisting the words so that he can use it to lend credence to his victim complex. She says that he has a victim complex. Now, to some extent, she has a very good point. That is valid. Thank you, Druana. But at the same time, she may be exaggerating a little bit because of her disagreements with his belief or his philosophy. What is this victim complex? Well, it's very simple. He's saying that he's being kidnapped, and she's saying, well, no, he just didn't pay up like all of us have to pay up, and that's just what happens when you don't pay the man and you don't be obedient. But you see, the thing is, kind of unusual is that these people don't all get along and we don't all work together, because Druana is all about going around the world and living more efficiently, being more empowered, and not letting the government rip you off with all their fees and their this and their that and the inflation that's going on in the United States. She's really against all those things. But I think she has this difference with Santos Bonacci is that she doesn't want to feel like she's calling out victim. I'm a victim. And I don't feel that she does. Maybe she has this her own inner complex that, she doesn't want to do that. She wants to seem as like, the stand-up woman that had gotten educated and she works hard and she pays and all her T's are crossed and her I's are dotted. And, Santos Bonacci's just more sloppy kind of hippie, he doesn't do that. He's not this big money-making guy. He's just like the sit on the corner, play guitar kind. And she might not like that. So that might be a bit of the Puritan side within her, that she's finding these problems with Santos Bonacci. Well, what's my take on her take on him? It's complicated because we would have to lay out an entire foundation that everybody agrees to about the proper and fair way that we all should be if there's going to be equality in the world. Now, I know that we're not going to have that for a long time, so there's going to be all of us jockeying for position, better at some things and lacking in others until we catch up with that and become more well-rounded. Now, I see Druana as being excelling at a certain thing and Santos Bonacci excelling at something else, and it seems to clash. And they should take some lessons from each other in the areas that they are not experts at, let's say, or the areas that they don't focus on. Maybe where they meet is sovereignty, of human rights and freedoms. That's maybe where they meet. But his whole thing about playing the victim and getting arrested, I think a lot of us would kind of shy away from that like she is. I'm sure she doesn't want to get arrested like that and then, chalk it up to be this whole thing where it's not his fault at all, where she's saying like, he has to take responsibility for that. Well, my take is that I'm not so sure that she hasn't really pointed the finger at the sheriff's department and the corrupt legal system. If she's on their side, I would like her to come out clearly and say so, or I would like to hear her say that they're also part of the problem, that it takes two to tango, and it's not just the fault of Santos Bonacci. That's what I would like to hear her say. Now, she might have made a video about it, and I haven't seen it, because she makes a lot of videos, and they're all over the place, and sometimes I can't even find them. In fact, I only found her series on this because I was searching on Santos Bonacci. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you have something to say, feel free to comment. Don't let this new YouTube system squelch your freedom of speech and expression. Say it no matter what. Oh, if you don't want to sign up for the Google Plus, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's the technical thing. Make a fake account, send me a private message, write to me on Vimeo. I'm EntertainmentGIANT. I'm Peter-Appleseed. Write to me on Twitter. I'm enternet-global. I'm Peter-Appleseed there. Write to me on Daily Motion. Write to me on MetaCafe. I mean, I'm all over the place. I'm even on Facebook if you look up Mystery, but I don't use Facebook. Alright, over and out.